JC Sports Replays vlog. It's me, your boy JC. You can call me Joe. Just don't say no when I ask you to come over and play some Stratomatic, because it would hurt my feelings. Not really, it's cool. I don't take things too seriously anymore. At least not from other people. I take a lot of things in my own brain seriously, but that's my own problem. But anyway, about walking the dogs this morning. Didn't yesterday. Uh, just tired. And I guess that tiredness carried over through work. Um, went to work yesterday, had a busy day. And then basically a working lunch. And then got home a little later than I anticipated. And finally, what do you call it? Finally got out of there, got home, and within an hour of me getting home, 5:15. So by like 6:15, I was asleep in my chair. So I guess I was tired. Yeah. What are you gonna do? You get tired. So I probably slept for a good hour. Then I woke up, thought about streaming a game, decided I was still too tired, and wife was just watching them. She was watching Die Hard, one of our favorite Christmas movies. Yes, it's a Christmas movie. So is Gremlins. We watched Gremlins the night before. Yeah. And then rolled a quick game of Payoff Pitch in my 1977 replay, and that was pretty much it. I was looking to see if anybody was on YouTube. Excuse me, wake it up. I need some coffee. Looking to see if anybody was on YouTube, just being out, doing their thing. Nothing really interesting. So I ended up going to bed pretty early. I slept decent. I woke up at 3 o'clock this morning. Actually, that's not true. I woke up at about 2 o'clock this morning, and it was just too hot. It's just one of those nights where it's like we don't need the heat yet, but putting on the air is kind of crazy. So the house was just a couple of degrees too warm, and with the puppies in bed with us, it just gets warm, you know? It just gets warm. Puppies like, big guy here likes to, big Oscar, he likes to sleep on my head. Right up on my pillow with his head behind my head. And yeah, if it's not the right temperature in the bedroom, it just knocks you out, you know? It's way too much warmth. So I woke up, stayed up for about an hour, drank some water, cooled off, went back to bed. I got about 2 more good hours of sleep. Had some weird friggin' dreams, but you know, I think I always, yeah. I think anytime I have interrupted sleep, I have weird dreams, you know. So, thank God, I don't remember them. I just know I woke up this morning to go to the bathroom and I was like, what the fuck was that? What in the actual fuck was that? There's this old abandoned road here that cuts through the development I live in, right? The town I live in. And from one side of the town to the other, which otherwise the only way you can get there is to drive all the way around. I don't know why this road's closed, but it's been probably because people would speed through here at ridiculous, and they want to keep at ridiculous speeds, and they want to keep the traffic to a minimum. And there's this little copse of trees here, kind of like a small wood that backs up to the other development behind us. It goes back pretty far. It's a couple hundred yards until you hit the other development. But whenever I get to this point, hang on, babies, right here with this street light, I'm standing under the street light, especially if it snows, which is rare these days in New Jersey. But we usually get 1 or 2 coatings a year in Monmouth County, New Jersey. We're by the shore, so it snows less than other parts of Jersey. But every time I get to this street light area, it reminds me of when the kid comes through the wardrobe in Lion the Witch in the Wardrobe, and he runs into is it Mr. Tumnus the Badger, and starts a whole new adventure in a different world. This isn't really a different world, it's just the other side of my town. um, but yeah, that's what it reminds me of. And then I see all the cars and stuff, and the illusion is dispelled. But, you know, I think especially when it's quiet in the morning like this, and I'm usually the only one out and around, except for the occasional car of somebody going to work, coming home from the night shift. Yeah, it gives me that sort of peaceful, pleasant, walking into a fantasy novel feeling before fire, brimstone, and dragons rain down upon everybody. Isn't it funny? Like, most fantasy novels, most fantasy movies, I think. Like, maybe it's my favorite kind of fantasy. They begin with this peaceful setting where you think everything's lovely and will be a nice place to live, and then somebody comes and starts murdering everything, and dispels that notion, right? So, yeah, but that's all right. So yeah, I played a game of pitch last night. It wasn't a particularly memorable game. I think it was Cleveland and Boston, and I think it was pretty lopsided one way or the other. I don't remember which way it was lopsided, but honestly, I was paying more attention last night to Die Hard than I was the game. But it's okay. Kept my hands busy. Kept my brain from going down roads I didn't want to go, and waking me up and making me not be able to get back to sleep. So, yeah. So that's why I decided not to stream last night, because I was just friggin' tired. So here we are vlogging. Didn't really get any comments about Black Friday sales and stuff like that. That's all right. Nobody knows I'm back, man, except Dave Gardner. Which, hey, thanks, Dave. Appreciate the supportive comments on my little vlogs. It's very nice of you. I guess if there's a question that's been on my mind lately, it's where the hell is Jeffrey Guterman? Hope you're doing well, Jeff. Hope you're okay. Haven't seen you in months. And I know that you were off the Strat bandwagon and dealing with some issues, but just know that there are people out here thinking of you. Hope you're okay. Hope everything's well, and maybe we'll see your face again sometime soon. If not, reach out, man. We'll just connect on the side. It doesn't have to be a public thing. But, we became friends, and just hope my friend is okay. So, speaking of friends, can't wait to get up to Digital to Dice podcast. Not podcast. Can't wait to get up to Digital to Dice Con in May. Got my approval from work yesterday for the time off. So I just have to square everything away with the home front. And I'm good to go. But yeah, the wifey's on board. And I just got to... Honestly, my biggest... I have two things to do for this con now. I have to figure out what to bring. If I want to bring anything to trade or sell. And if I want to bring anything to play. Definitely should bring something to play, right? And then what I'm gonna find my wife to do that weekend. Not that she needs help, she's an adult, but she tends to let me run the social circle a bit, unless there's some family and holiday stuff going on, which, now I do what we're doing, but otherwise I tend to make a lot of the plans for what we're going to do on weekends, and I'm going to be completely out of sight that weekend, so we'll see if I can find something cool for her to do. She thought about coming along, and she's like, I'll be fine, I'll just do stuff during the day, and I was like, And she's like, I'll bring the dogs, and I was like, all right, well, like, I'm staying in the hotel where the con is. It's not like a resort, it's just a hotel, like, it's a serviceable hotel. Looks very nice, but I don't even think there's much to do there in terms of even eating. So what are you going to do, sit in the bench? What are you going to do, sit in the room all day? Or drive around Connecticut, or leave the dogs by themselves and go to Foxwoods? Like, that's going to get expensive, not for nothing. And we're not exactly, our budget right now is focused on figuring out where we're going to live in the next few years. So, meaning we want to buy a bigger house. We want to move in the next 3 years. So, yeah, I'll try to help her find something to do. Connect with a friend or two, maybe something cool to do. May should be good weather. Well, May can go either way, but usually May here is pretty nice. So, yeah, those are my two to-do lists for the con. What else? I don't really know. I mentioned yesterday I downloaded Season Ticket Football. I haven't printed the stuff out yet, but I did look it over. I tried to watch Dave's video, actually, on how to play. And I wasn't giving it my full attention. I tend to watch things like that. I was actually watching while I was in the shower. Yeah, I bring my phone in the shower with me, and I watch YouTube videos. Because otherwise I start thinking about work right away. And I like to delay that until I'm actually at work. So I get a lot of my YouTube time in at weird times. Like, I'm usually watching YouTube while I'm getting ready for work, or when I'm rolling games in the morning, or evening and I'm not streaming. So those are my typical catch up on everybody else's video time. But I couldn't really pay attention to it, and I realized I should have the components out and kind of be following along, and it'll be more impactful. So I think that's what I'll do when I sit down to play my first game, is just kind of play along with Dave, so I know what he's looking at, or before I play my first game, really, right? And go from there. So, come on, babies. But looking forward to getting that on the table. I don't know if I'm going to make it this weekend, because we're doing some decorating. We want to get the tree and the lights up this weekend, so it's Thanksgiving next week. It's less than a week till Thanksgiving now. Excuse me. So, what else? Nothing really, man. Just working. Work's pretty intense right now. It's coming up on end of the year stuff. I don't have all my sales in for the quarter yet. I still have half a quarter to go, but it's awfully tough to close out sales as we get into the holidays. So I'm a little worried about making my sales numbers this quarter. I have plenty of stuff in the works, but I need other people to come through on their end, like my internal partners who do loan processing and stuff like that. So trying to keep on top of them while also just finding a couple of quick hits. So every day is a bit challenging. But yeah, I'll probably get there. And if I don't, I've had a really good year anyway. I'd still like to go 4 for 4 again this year, though. I think it'd be my third year in a row going 4 for 4 on making my sales quota and bonusing for the quarter. So I think this would be my 13th quarter in a row making it. And I'm pretty consistently at the top of the performer list, so I'd like to stay there. Kind of does well when the annual reviews and salary bonuses come around, right? Salary reviews. So, but I know I'm barely eloquent. You can imagine me making sales calls and coaching a team of salespeople and service professionals. You probably can. You're not getting the best of me. Maybe actually this might actually be the best unfiltered version of me first thing in the morning when I'm walking the pups here in the darkness. But get up here. One of the things I did notice this week, getting back into the streaming a bit, was how much I enjoy Stratomatic Super Advanced when I'm not in a rush. If I don't care how long it's going to take me to finish a project and I'm just rolling games for the sake of calling the games. Come on, babies. I don't know what that is. It's pretty cool. that, flip this around for a little while. It's pretty dark, but it's pretty cool to remember how much fun that game actually is when I'm not rushing through a project. And I think that's one of the problems I have in terms of burnout is a lot of times I'm playing even when I don't necessarily feel like playing, just to have something to do. And I don't let myself be bored enough. I think that's a consequence of our times. We're so used to instant gratification now that it's hard to be bored, right? It's hard to just let yourself sit and relax and do nothing. I've always had a hard time with that. I've always been somebody who likes to stay busy, but I think it's gotten worse as I've gotten more into the way we live life now. Having these phones always in our hand, having information at our fingertips, you know. But also, since my triple bypass, I think I have a feeling of like, how much time do I have left? And I'm hoping a lot, you know. I take care of myself. Hopefully a good long time. But excuse me. But it definitely ends up being something in the back of your mind that you kind of like want to do all the things you want to do. So it's a weird sensation. But as a result, as it relates to the hobby, I end up trying to do things quickly. And something like full season replay, or even a medium sized project of like a single team replay, it's a lot of games, man. Even a single team is like 162 games. Or I'm not really into the playoff projects. I like the stat accumulation too much. With baseball, anyway. With the other games, I could do shorter projects. I've done. It's been a while, but over the years, I've done all with Strat, by the way. Tournaments with all three sports and found them very gratifying. I think because the nature of the games is a little different, but and maybe because the averages matter, if that makes sense. Like the per game averages are a thing in the other sports. Well, less so. Hockey's more about the accumulation, I guess, right? But how many yards did the guy hit? 100 yards rushing in a game, or did the quarterback throw for 350? And how many touchdowns and how many interceptions? All those things kind of like fall within the game confines. And yeah, the season stats matter, but you can get a meaningful stat line from just a single game. Same thing with basketball. A guy goes for 50 points, or if he plays a tournament and he plays 7 games and he averages 28 points and 10 rebounds, again, you have a meaningful stat line. Versus hockey, the stats are pretty simple. I mean, you can get really deep, I'm sure, but I'm a pretty surface level hockey fan. I don't think I've watched a game of hockey this year yet, this season. But like, yeah, cool, somebody gets a hat trick, but hockey for me, I could almost play the hockey without the stats. You know what I mean? Like, I could just play hockey and see who wins and be pretty engaged in the tournament. Best of 7 series, having somebody up 3-2 and trying to close it out. Like, it's got its own level of excitement. There is that in baseball, but I feel like maybe because baseball is where I'm a purist and it's my number one sport in terms of fandom. I feel like those playoff spots need to be earned. I feel like I need to know who had a great season and who didn't. And I know the real life stats already tell me that, but I just really like the stat accumulation in baseball. I really like the few times that I've actually completed large projects, how much fun it is to look at all those stats at the end of the season and figure out, like, even midway, who's going to the All-Star game, who's the MVP, who's the Cy Young Award winner. I don't keep track of defensive stats, although now I do with Digital Diamond. So that if I finish a project with playoff pitch and Digital Diamond baseball, I could actually like give out gold glove awards and stuff like that. So, um, but yeah. So as a result, I end up feeling like I have way too many projects and probably not enough time to do all of them. But and then it becomes hard for me to just focus on that I'm really engaged in. And what I've started doing is just trying to play what I feel like playing, and if one project comes off the table, not to scrap it, because that's been my habit in the past, is forgetting about it completely and scrapping it, you know. And then dogs really want to get back to their bacon. They could probably smell it. We're almost home. So now I'm going to switch projects up. I'll just, put it to the side. Still have the stats ready. If I'm doing stats manually for something, I'll just keep them in a notebook or a binder. I've actually got a little trunk for that, and then just play what I want to play until I go back to it. So anyway, we're home. Time for breakfast, and maybe I'll see you guys later. Have a good day.